save their monies when they get home from work. You just play classical music there, Jim. The martial wooden soldiers on the train. Sweet train, sweet train, sweet train. Jane, you're playing a game. It's hide and go seek. music, yeah.
Oh,
Jane, you're playing for fun, but I play for keeps.
Jane,
Jane, Jane, Jane, Jane, Jane, Jane, Jane, and I play for keeps, yeah. And like a cat in a mouse, cat in a mouse, the sort of go in a house to house.
How's that, Paul? You want some real vocals or? What do you want?
A ditty?
Yeah, we love
We'd
this.
like to do
This is
a
our
ditty
favorite
now.
part.
That's right. Let me hear you put your hands together. That's right.
All right, what do you guys? What are we doing now? Okay. One more. Do That's fucking great. Whew, that is quite an echo. All right. Packed my bags last night. Flight 0 hour 9 a.m.
My bags were packed last night.
0 hour 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite flies then.
Miss you so much. I miss my wife. Lonely out in Spain. Such a timeless flight. It's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man that think I have at home. Oh no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
God ain't the kind of place to raise your kid. In fact, it's cold as hell. There's no one there to raise them. If you did,
And all this science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me down again to find I'm not the man that think I am at home. Oh no, oh no, I'm a rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the Lory Student Center Ballroom presentation of Fish. We'd like to remind you that there is no smoking anywhere in the building. Now presenting Fish!
Susie Greenberg with her head caved in. Soon let me drown beneath the undertow. You better put that woman in the loony bin, 'cause you know I'd really like to be a part of her show. Susie's an artist, and she paints quite a lot. An artist she may be, but a genius she's not. She says she wants to be a sociologist, but you better first get checked by a neurologist. she robbed you clean. She's always afraid that she's not sure what she's worth. She's out of her mind, and she's not of this earth. The woman walks the streets like she's the queen of the town. Doesn't talk very much, she's very profound. Little Susie Greenberg, always playing a game. But the day out that she's probably forgotten my name.
chanting words from a song. As he saw his life run away from him, thousands ran along, chanting words from a song. Please me, have no regrets. Please me, have no regrets. Came from the baby's mouth. We follow the lines going south. Please me, have no regrets. Please me, have no regrets. Came from the baby's mouth. We follow the lines going south.
birds in sight. They came up from the valley, both sides at a time. To the cold, steady rain, rain them in now. Trigger of lights, fast lane, drinking receipts, I start to run. It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard, and my time to come. Anyway, I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food. Look at I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food. Look at I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food. Look at I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food. Look at I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food. Look at I'm pressing this race, and I want to be food.
Thank you.
We sink a moment in the water. We were tied cable to a tree. We was looking at him a lipstick perfume. I did a real crystal razor to a slide across a needle with a broom. Deep in the motel tub, we would take a ladle from a lip. Dip, sip. We would battle to the nag with a lipstick perfume. Run into a farmer in a truck. Take a peek at the cheetah, we would cheat on the prow with the kids. Take a boulder in the water, tie a cable to a tree. Put an engine to the nag with a lipstick perfume. We will flush a fresh farm left over butter in a circle. Down the pipes. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Reaver put a stopper at the bottom of the top, picked up the jar, unscrewed the top, and watched it drop into the water. A little scoop of plaster mix, some coffee grounds and mud, and then she stirred it with a ladle from her grandmother had bought her. Threw in a pot of melted wax, a 4-foot and a hoof, apple core, worms galore, a can of some corrosive. Coconuts some chloroform, some wicker, and some cork. Toxic waste, some purple paint she hoped was not explosive. Leave a double label for a taste of her creation. She knew that what she made would be the finest in the nation. Bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it. Tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it, sell it to the butcher in the store. Oh, bag it, tag it. Thank you. Silas bound in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas bound in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas bound in jail. All night long. We shall deliver for me. Harlan Silas free in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas free in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas free in jail. All night long. We shall deliver for me. Silas free in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas bound in jail. All night long. Harlan Silas bound in jail. All night long. Who shall deliver for me? Who shall deliver for me? keeps getting harder, and I'm falling into a deep well. just keeps getting harder, and I'm was a dream I had, though rather hard to keep. For when my eyes were watching hers, they closed, and I was still asleep. For when my hand was holding hers, she whispered words and I awoke, and faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. And I awoke, and faintly bouncing round the room, the echo of whomever spoke. The place I sought was far beneath the surface of the sea. My sight was poor, but I was sure the sirens sang their song for me. They dance above me as I sink. I see them through a crystal haze, and hear the sweet sound bouncing round the never-ending coral maze. Crystal haze, and hear them bouncing round the room, the never-ending coral maze. Then before and now once more I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again bouncing round the room. That time and once again bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. That time and once again I'm bouncing round the room. Wiped away the beads of sweat that glistened on his brow. His tired feet were buried in the quagmire, and his bloodshot eyes saw all that lay between him and fulfillment of his vow. And he felt his fingers wrap around the knotted root pull his body upwards to a sea green mossy boulder, and he dragged his weary shit ass up the mountain, and he climbed so slowly, he climbed so slowly, Suddenly he heard the crack of thunder, and the rocks began to crumble overhead and tumble down the mountain to the dismal swamp that lay beneath the jagged cliffs through which his path had led. And the earth began to quake beneath his feet, and the mighty mountain changed before his eyes, and he stood amidst a sea of dust and rocks and stones cascading down the mountain, and 1,000 birds were headed for the sky. Oh, the sacred creed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. Dust had cleared, the colonel lifted up his head and was driven to his knees by a blazing beam of light, and he saw the silhouette that stood before him, and he bowed in reverence, trembling in the shadow of the mighty legend's form. The prophet stood before his eyes, looking down on Colonel Forbin, where he shuddered in the puddles and the muck. And he quietly addressed him, and he spoke so slowly, he spoke so slowly, he said, and I know why you've come here, and I'll help you with your quest to gain the knowledge that you lack. I call upon my faithful friend the mockingbird to fly and seize the helping book and bring it to your shack, and the tree of knowledge in your soul will grow, and the helping friendly book will plant the seed. But I warn you that all knowledge seeming innocent and pure becomes a deadly weapon in the hands of avarice and greed. Whoa, the sacred greed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred greed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. This is the last gig that we're playing in Colorado. And we want to thank you guys all for a really great time. Telluride, Boulder, and Denver, and the Gothic Theater, and the Colorado College, and everybody. I definitely recognize a lot of faces that were around and made a lot of friends, so thank you so much. We're going to drive to Austin, Texas tonight after the gig, and it's going to be a whole new thing. Now, we couldn't resist playing this song on the last night because of anywhere, at least in this country, people who understand about the spirit of the mountain. There's no place more than Colorado that people understand that. So we thought it would be appropriate that we played this song on the last night. And some of you know about this and some of you don't. I'm going to tell you what it's really about. Now, this is about another place, and where we come from, we know about the spirit of the mountain too. But anyway, if you come with us now to a different place, the different mountains, this is Gamehenge that we're going to. And in Gamehenge, as most of you know probably, it started out a long time ago as a beautiful, serene wonderland of beauty and peace and harmony. The people that lived there, the people of Gamehenge, the lizards, lived in harmony, peace and harmony with nature for thousands of years. And they lived in a place where you had a big, vast green forest and huge fields off at the end of the forest that reached out. And of course, in the middle of the field was the big black rhombus, in which they used to, a long time ago, the people would go up to the mountain and they would pray to the gods and try to keep in harmony with the mountain. And every year they had a ritual where they would go out into the field, climb up on the rhombus and sing the divided sky prayer to the sky. I love them. Now later on, after all this happened, of course, the traveler came to Gamehenge named Wilson. And Wilson saw these innocent people, and instead of seeing it as a beautiful thing in harmony with nature, he saw it as an opportunity to oppress and exploit these people. So what he did was he took their book, or their Bible of sorts, the Helping Friendly Book, which had been given to them thousands of years ago by the great and knowledgeable Iculus, whose spirit lived on top of the mountain that rose out of the forest there. And he took the book and he stole it from them because he knew that without the book, they were helpless and they would need to come to him. So by stealing the book, he enslaved all the people of Gamehenge. And he hid the book in a castle. He chopped down all the trees and raised a castle in the middle of a clearing in the middle of the forest. And for years and years, he had enslaved the people, until finally Colonel Forbin, who's the hero of this last song that I was just singing about, made it into Gamehenge. And he decided that he would help a group of revolutionaries try to overthrow Wilson. A lot of attempts failed, and finally his last attempt was going to be to climb up the mountain, which no one had ever done before, and try to find the great and knowledgeable Iculus and ask for help. So as it says in the last song, he climbs up the mountain begins to quake and rumble, rocks tumbling down around him. He's on his knees looking up in awe as the mountain begins to take the form of Iculus's face, little pieces falling out until the whole mountain becomes the face of the great and knowledgeable Iculus. And Colonel Forbin is kneeling there in terror beneath this awesome sight. And Iculus says to Colonel Forbin, I'm going to help you. I'm going to call my friend the famous Mockingbird, who's going to fly down. I'm going to send him off to steal the Helping Friendly Book back from Wilson and bring it to the evil people. But of course he does give him that one warning that this book contains all the knowledge inherent in the universe, and knowledge in the wrong hands, in the hands of avarice and greed, becomes a deadly weapon, so you better beware. But that's a whole different part of the story. You can worry about that later, but right now the famous Mockingbird is flying out of the ground, out of the sky, to go to the castle and steal the friendly book.
top the mountain, baby, where the people come to pray. Come from top the mountain, baby, where the people come to pray. Ain't no truth in action, let's you believe it anyway. I was riding down the road one day, someone hit a possum. Riding down the road one day, someone hit a possum. The road was his end, his end was that road, so they say. Whoa, possum. Possum, your end is the road. that road, so they